to the marriage of Christopher and Jennifer, who would like to thank you all for coming to celebrate the beginning of their new life together as husband and wife. Family and friends are here with them today, and I know that it means a great deal to them that you are here to share in their happiness and to witness their marriage vows. This place, in which we are now met, has been duly sanctioned, according to law, for the celebration of marriages. And we're here today to witness the joining in matrimony of Christopher David Knowles and Jennifer Susan Mustoe. Now, before the two of you are joined in matrimony, it is my duty to remind you both of the solemn and binding character of the vows that you're now about to make to each other. Marriage, according to the law of this country, is the union of one man with one woman, voluntarily entered into for life, to the exclusion of all others. If any person present knows of any lawful impediment to this marriage, they should declare it now. That was long enough silence, I think, to be safe to proceed. No. So, one of the many historic customs involved in the wedding ceremony is the giving away of the bride. Today, this act is seen as a symbol of support for her marriage and a promise of continued trust and affection from her family. So I will now ask, who brings Jennifer to be married to Christopher?
I do.
You'd like to hand your daughter's hand into her? Thank you. No?
Look after her.
Thank you, sir. You'd like to take your seat. Christopher and Jennifer, you have found in each other happiness, fulfillment and love. And now you wish to offer each other the security which comes from legally binding vows, sincerely made and faithfully kept. Marriage is a decision made by two people to share their lives and their experiences. It is a willingness to accept each other for who they are. Marriage means making a commitment to cooperation, friendship, and to mutual respect. Marriage is the best in living, sharing good times, understanding and forgiving. It is contentment, joy and laughter, believing in each other, and supporting one another's hopes and dreams. Now I'm now going to ask each of you in turn to declare that you do not know of any lawful reason why you should not be married to each other. And traditionally we always ask the groom to respond first. So Christopher, I'm going to ask you a question, and if you're able to do so honestly, you just need to answer I am to that question. Are you, Christopher David Knowles, free lawfully to marry Jennifer Susan Mustoe?
I am.
Yeah, exactly the same. If you're able to do so truthfully and honestly, you just need to answer I am to this question. Are you, Jennifer Susan Mustoe, free lawfully to marry Christopher David Knowles?
I am.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the formal moment has come when Christopher and Jennifer are going to make their legal, formal contract before you all. So can I ask you all to stand, please? So to turn to face each other now to make your vows for one another. And Christopher, I'm going to ask you to go first. So just repeat after me. I call upon these persons here present.
I call upon these persons here present
To witness that I, Christopher David Knowles,
to witness that I, Christopher David Knowles,
do take thee, Jennifer Susan Mustoe,
do take thee, Jennifer Susan Mustoe,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
Jennifer, I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Jennifer Susan Mustoe,
to witness that I, Jennifer Susan Mustoe,
do take thee, Christopher David Knowles,
do take thee, Christopher David Knowles,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
Now, the bride and groom are also going to make some promises to each other. So if you'd like to be seated, ladies and gentlemen, for the promises. Christopher, you're going to make your promises first again, so be facing each other and repeat after me. I promise that I will respect you as an individual.
I promise that I will respect you as an individual,
Support you through difficult times.
support you through difficult times,
Rejoice with you through happy times.
Rejoice with you through happy times.
Be loyal to you always.
Be loyal to you always.
And above all,
love
you as my wife and friend.
love you as my wife and friend.
I promise that I will respect you as an individual.
I promise that I will respect you as an individual,
Support you through difficult times.
support you through difficult times,
Rejoice with you through happy times.
rejoice with you through happy times,
Be loyal to you always.
be loyal to you always,
And above all, love you as my husband and friend.
love you as my husband and my friend.
At this stage in the ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the first of two readings, and I'm going to invite Joan, please, to come forward for the first of those. So if the two of you'd like to take their seat.
Special memories of Donald Moscow, Jenny's grandkid. These memories were written by Jenny's grandfather about his proposal of marriage to Eva, Jenny's grandmother, on their wedding day back in 1945. In 1945, we know the war ended, but they didn't when this was written, and the war had been raging for quite a while. He writes, "The telegram was concise and lacking in sentiment, but concealed the true feelings of the senders. Arrived in Chester on Wednesday regarding marriage on Saturday. It was postmarked Gloucester and the date was stamped the 9th of January 1945. Thus was the manner of my proposal of marriage to Eva. Eva and I first met in April of the previous year at a dance in the Sergeant Mess, Chester. I was stationed there serving as a lieutenant in the Royal Northumberland Fusiliers. We got engaged on the 7th of October 1944. The reason for the urgency was mostly financial, but of course firmly based on our love and affection for each other. I was on embarkation leave at my home in Gloucestershire, and in the course of conversation with my elder brother Tony, he asked me why I didn't marry before I went abroad. I told him I didn't think it would be fair to Eva to get married, and then leave her for probably 3 years, with no certainty of returning. He asked me about the marriage allowance. Making a rapid calculation, said, "Well, if you're away for 3 years, that will come to over £350. This was a fortune in those days. To put things in perspective, £350 would buy 3.5 cars, or more importantly, a sizable nest egg with which to start married life. Thus, the final decision was not too hard to make. So off I went to the post office and filled in my formal request to Eva. That set the pattern for the next 52 years of our life together. On reflection, of course, this might have been looked upon as a shotgun wedding, but this was 1945, and it was the first love affair for both of us. When I arrived in Chester, Eva's mother gave us her blessing, so we were on our way. The clock was ticking. I had arranged a special licence for the wedding, and this had to be collected from Gloucester Cathedral before 5 o'clock on the Friday. Eva and I left Chester just after midday, and the train was due in Gloucester at 3:30. Unfortunately, we had many delays, and so it was after 4:30 before we saw the outskirts of Gloucester and the outline of our home, Gloucester Cathedral. We left the train and started out for the cathedral at a semi-brisk trot walk. It had been my intention to bide a ring in Gloucester during the couple of hours we would have had if the train had been on time. So it was now time for emergency action. I guided Eva to the jeweller's, gave her £5 to buy the wedding ring, and asked her to wait my return there. I headed off to the cathedral. It was all bolted and barred. Then I spied a gardener working in the grounds. He told me that if I went round the back and knocked on the second door, I might just catch the Dean. Much to my relief, this turned out to be true, so 5 minutes later I was heading back to the jeweller's, clutching my special licence. We got married the next morning at Wickwall Parish Church. It was a modest affair. There were no photographs. We'd forgotten the Brownie camera. Eva wore a grey costume and